right. Beautiful, amazing brothers and sisters. What an exciting time that we're in right now. And I have a question for you. Do you have the simple tools to move beyond the 3D programming that's been coming at us relentlessly for a long time, but more so in the past couple years? And if you're interested in accelerating and moving out of these lower frequencies, I've got some tools to share with you. And the beauty of this is that if we even raise one person's consciousness or frequency and we embody it just a little bit deeper within ourselves, it changes everything. And so that's why I do this. And I'm excited to share this stuff with you today. It's Friday evening in the US where I'm from. I'm currently in Thailand. And it's Saturday morning here, 9 a.m. My name's Jeff Cloud. I'm the author of the book and course, Waking Up in the Dream. Hey, Roxanne, great to see you. And what I do is I assist people in rapidly completing the inner healing process. And then I assist them with subconscious and permanent repatterning or reprogramming of old programs that have been limiting them. And the beauty about all this, it might sound really technical, permanent subconscious repatterning, but it's all about being able to see the program running. And then if you're simply just willing to go, oh, wow, I didn't realize I was running that, you can begin to shift stuff the same day. Even if these programs, wounds, or automatic judgments or reactions based on old memory, trauma, and those emotions that just keep coming up in the story that says, this person did this to me, this is what happened to me. It's all a story. And yes, it was probably part of your soul contract, but that's the other part of the key to go, well, if it was part of my soul contract, then that means what? That I agreed to experience this on my journey so that I could clear this and heal it for not only myself, but the collective. Hey, Jeff, great to see you, brother. So it's really about just being open and then going, okay, what is the gift here? What is the gift here? And if you can begin to put these tools into practice, everything in your life, relationships, reality, and the abundance that you're attracting into your reality will shift. It has to. It doesn't mean that you need to know your exact soul purpose right this moment, but if you begin to play with it and you begin to, in the morning before all the 50 to 80,000 thoughts start running, you awaken out of what we call the sleeping dream, and you just stop and breathe into your body and just become present and ask, show me today. Show me what I'm supposed to know, do, feel, or share. And allow me to do it from my heart in the kindest way possible. And you will begin to get the messages. The thing that happens with so many people is they wake up and the 50 to 80,000 thoughts just start running right away. Boom, 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 boom. I got to get up. I got to get ready for school. I got to get in the shower. But that's okay. We're going to do whatever we have to do during our day. But it's the people that begin to start to tune in on a little deeper level and take the time to go, okay, so I see some of what's going on in the external. I know nothing. That's a very powerful mantra, because when you're willing to admit that you know nothing, even if you know some things, like obviously love is the answer, and my thoughts and words and my vibration and frequency create my reality. But when you can get the ego to settle down and just go, I know nothing, just show me. That's when all this other universes of information can come in, where the person that has the tiny little belief system that they need to defend over and over and over because they don't know who they'd be if they didn't defend these beliefs, the reality that you're going to experience is going to be worlds beyond somebody that's been trained in the school system or the programming of, religion. It's not all bad, but it's a trap for most people to get you to give your power away to something outside yourself. And I'm not going to go into that because it's controversial with people. I talk about that on a lot of lives. But what I am going to state is, if you put these tools into practice, everything in your reality will shift. It has to. And, it really, the first piece is looking at our triggers. Is there anything to clear? Is there anyone left to forgive? How are we telling our story? Are we still telling a story? And it's okay if you are. Don't beat yourself up. This is mirroring. This is gentle, non-judgmental mirroring. We've all done it. I've been there. I have had my wounds. Don't even know if I've uncovered them all. I stay open. I don't need to convince myself or anybody else that I'm 1,000% healed and there's nothing else I've done all my inner work. I don't know that. I don't remember past lives. I keep coming back to my mantra. I know nothing. I'm 100% open as much as I can be in every day, and just teach me and show me. And the way that I know if something comes up that is being invited to be cleared or healed is through my frequency. If our frequency is not rooted in love, excitement, joy, kindness, compassion, or gratitude, and we end up in judgment, worry, doubt, fear, hatred, resentment, lack of forgiveness for another, you can feel those frequencies. And you know that there's something to clear. This is all about being 1,000% honest with ourselves. But you can have fun doing it, because look around at all the other incredible people around the world and on Facebook and social media that you're connected with today, like myself, that I've never met in person. Why is this happening? Because number one, the internet connected the globe. Number two, we're connected with people that have a resonant vibrational frequency. So you can see who you relate to by what they post, what they share, their level of honesty, their level of kindness, their level of compassion, their level of non-judgment. And these are the people that have the higher heart frequency. Maybe you resonate with people that are judging and condemning and everything. That's okay too. You're exactly where you're supposed to be on your path. But if you want to move beyond and stop attracting and magnetizing in those same lower vibrational frequencies, because that's what this human magnet does, whether we're aware of it or not. It's a human magnet, and our magnet is turned on in every single second, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. And so the only game becomes conscious awareness. Where's my frequency right now? And if anybody has any questions that come up, this is a live Q&A. It's non-judgmental. And every time somebody presents a question, it kind of lets everybody else relax, and it opens up just another portal of inquiry. So if anybody has any questions, there are no stupid questions. In fact, it's the brave people that usually ask the questions, because so many people are usually thinking the same thing. And when I used to sit in the 3-day dreaming weekends with one of my mentors, Don Miguel Ruiz, who was a close mentor of mine for 10 years in California, I would be afraid in the beginning to get up on the couch because everybody's looking at you and ask my question, because there was fear that I wasn't good enough, or that I didn't know enough, or that I should know this stuff. And that all comes from 3D programming, from the school system and religion, and from people judging us, and from our childhood wounds. Asking questions is the greatest thing we'll ever do. The greatest thing that ever happened to me, and it happened very early on when I was probably 6 or 7 years young, was I began to question everything. I began to question all the negative judgmental energies that were in the private Catholic schools that I was in every day, wearing my little bow tie and uniform and being told to stand in the corner by these angry 75-year young pissed off nuns. And I was like, I didn't know the first thing about conscious awareness or frequency or vibration. My internal guidance system told me something's really wrong here. It was obvious. And so that was the beginning of my training and uncovering my soul contract, which was to go into private Catholic school, to have my dad die when I was 7 in a plane crash, to be the only kid in school. Hey, Mara, great to see you. Haven't connected with you in a long time. Big love from Thailand. And, that was part of my soul contract. So for the longest time, I felt lost, and I'm the only kid in school without a dad, and I'm in this situation where it seemed like every day was Judgment Day. But the church was teaching love. But what happens to you when you die? You go to Judgment Day. It was just like something didn't add up. And what I'm getting at here is, if you stop and tune in to the frequencies, and I know a lot of you know this, I just have to start somewhere, because a lot of people reach out when I'm like, the last couple of days, I haven't slept really well. I just been frickin' buzzing. And, when people say, Mercury's in Uranus, or any of the other stuff they say about, the energies coming in right now, it usually doesn't affect me. I'm just like, I just always feel the same. But the last couple nights, I haven't got a lot of sleep. So this morning I wake up and I'm like, wow, I just want to lie in bed and really ground in. And I'm like, but this is when I usually do my live. And when I usually do a live, somebody will reach out to me and they'll go, I'm so glad you did that. I really needed to hear that. And I'll just go, that's all I needed to hear. I mean, it's like, it totally just hits me in the heart that something that took me such a long time to figure out is helping other people. And again, I'm just talking to Jeff over and over and over. I don't even know if there's anybody else out there. According to my mentor, there are no others. This is just one big hologram, and everybody you see, every tree, every animal, every plant, every insect is you. And that can be kind of a trip to grab a hold of in the very beginning. It can be kind of overwhelming. Hey, Elaine, great to see you. However, the more that you begin to study how your reality is created, and just have an open mind. Because again, one of my most powerful mantras is, I know nothing. You don't need to figure it all out. You're going to remember at some point. The soul's journey will guide you back to remembering that you are all of it. You are perfect. You are divine. You are abundance. You are joy. You are love. And if you're not feeling all of that right now, then these are the tools that I share that will get you there in the quickest way that I've ever found. And the first piece is inner healing. And again, I go over and over and over this. Is there anyone that you're still holding judgment, anger, resentment, lack of forgiveness, or any story about somebody that did something to you? Or are you holding lack of resentment or shame or guilt to yourself for stuff that you've did in the past? I know I have. Man, I got angry at one of the wild jungle dogs yesterday, and I felt so ashamed. I mean, I was like, oh my God, I'm out here every day loving on these animals, but if somebody's attacking somebody else, or somebody's running out in the middle of the street and they're in danger of getting hurt, sometimes I have a reaction. And so I'm using myself as the example right here. I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be a judgeaholic in private Catholic schools. I was taught to be a judgeaholic in church, where it was supposed to be all about love. This was my training. It wasn't a sentence. In other words, I agreed to this. So this is one of the get out of hell free cards that I offer to people. And you don't have to believe me, and don't believe yourself. Just find out what works for you. But if it is a possibility that you have a soul contract that you already agreed to before you came here, if it's just a possibility, if nothing else you've tried works, then going, all right, so if I did have a soul contract, hi, Lisa. I love your comment, and I'm going to post that in a second because it's so honest. In fact, I'm just going to post it right now, and then I'll come back. I'm very judgmental. It's how I protect myself. I love that. That is honesty, 1,000%. Everybody send Lisa a bunch of love, because this is it. It's not about hiding and wearing all of our masks and trying to act like we've got all our shit together, with all these spiritual things that we do and say and names we give ourselves and everything else. There's nothing wrong with that, but and only if you're lying to yourself. And I still have stuff come up all the time. And I take people through this process, clients, almost every day of the week. And we're going through these tools. They're very simple. But, we've had thousands of years of programming and conditioning. Some of us have. And so we've got to be gentle and loving with ourselves and loving with others. So again, to finish on this one part, do you have anybody to forgive? And so when we talk about Lisa, because I know this one, I was a judgeaholic. Now, I'm not projecting this onto Lisa. We all judge. And even if you're to the point where you don't judge anybody else out there because you understand everybody's your mirror and you know that they're your teacher, and you've gotten to the point that I share where you can thank every single person anytime they bring up any emotion in you or feeling that's not love, gratitude, kindness, compassion, or excitement, then you can feel that frequency. We call it a trigger or an emotional reaction or a wound. A lot of people don't like to say they have a wound because it makes them feel, wounded. I understand. But if there's anything that's left to clear, being that we are walking, talking, vibrating human magnets in every moment, if we're very judgmental like I was, because that's how I thought, how I fixed everything. I would point out everything that was wrong. Well, that's wrong. Maybe not everything. I was a loving guy, but I'm like, well, pedophilia is definitely wrong, and poisoning people is definitely wrong, and, lying to people in the church is definitely wrong. I mean, there was plenty of stuff for me to point out that was wrong. It was not coming from love. And this is how people stay stuck in the 3D matrix of lower vibrational frequencies, because they believe that they're right, and they may be. The things I just named off, harming children, sacrificing children, poisoning people, that's wrong. Any way you slice it. It's not love, it's the opposite, and it's dark. And so, yes, those things are wrong, and we must clear them and heal them. But what I figured out was, I agree. All of your triggers are gifts because they show you where we're still holding a wound or that we can be reacted and pulled down into 3D. Because judgment, fear, resentment, hatred, lack of forgiveness, anger, those don't exist in 5D and beyond. They can't. Those are frequencies of the heart. So while we're moving beyond out of 3D, 4D into the higher dimensions, and we're being assisted by the frequencies and all this wonderful stuff coming into the planet, you've got help, you've got support. And the fact that you're still on here listening to this or listening to the replay, it must mean that something's resonating. And I'm glad that it does. But again, question everything. Don't just believe me. Because if you're just believing anybody out there, that's how they programmed us. That's how we got in this mess in the first place, because we're trusting loving beings. Okay? So, to finish up on this inner healing piece, if we're judging to protect ourselves, or because we believe that things are wrong out there and they need to be cleared, then what I found out was I'm actually magnetizing in more of those timelines. Think of every one of those dots as an event. They're all happening right now. There is no past, no future. It's all right now. And we're navigating through this trippy thing. And we've got our past lives and our higher selves, and we've got our soul team and our ancestors. And I don't know. They don't talk to me that I know of. I know people that they ask their higher selves. And, you know, I tune in every morning and every night and throughout the day. And I tune into my heart and I ground myself with my bare feet on the planet. And when I'm in my shower, when the water's blessing me, and I dial in as deep as I can. Hey, Tina, great to see you. Big, big love. But I don't know if my ancestors are surrounding me. I don't know if I have angels all around me. I don't know that. And that used to frustrate me. But I also know that now I'm not giving my power away to something outside myself, because I meet people that go, well, I can't make a decision until I check in with my guides. And I'm like, okay, isn't that interesting? That's one of my favorite mantras too. That will eliminate judgment. Hey, Jeff, great to see you. Jeff's got a great comment. I've noticed the more and more we practice catching our judgments and dismantling the automatics all through, the easier it gets. Yeah, absolutely. Because if we don't dismantle them, we are magnetizing in more of those timelines, events, and, you know, people in our life and relationships that are going to trigger those until they're cleaned up, because the soul knows exactly what to magnetize into our reality in order to give us one more opportunity to heal this stuff. So it's not difficult to do the inner healing. That's the last place people usually go. Hey, Valerie, great to see you. Because we weren't taught how. And we're so busy just, you know, doing our best to survive in this 3D revolving matrix of fake money and all these attacks that, you know, people are putting on their best face, and they're taking their best step forward, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that we must heal in order to move out of this. There's no getting around it. And what's going to happen over the coming weeks and months, November is going to be a huge month of reveals, huge. And for a lot of us, we're going to be sitting back, cheering, jumping up and down with our popcorn, because we've seen this stuff coming for 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 years. Other people are going to get the shock of their lifetime because they've been watching the television, and their belief system is so programmed, and it's such a tiny limiting prison that they can't let anything else in. Because what happens is, when we don't understand what the belief system is, which I'll just explain it real quickly to the best of my ability, it's nothing more than a set of agreements that all came from outside of ourselves. Our beliefs aren't even our own. I need to hit the gong on that one. None of our beliefs are our own. They all came from outside ourselves, and we agreed to them in society, in the school system, in religion, around our parents, the people we grew up around, so that we could fit in and we wouldn't be judged. And now you can see there's all these incredible, wonderful light workers, warriors, whatever you want to call it, that are out here saying, no, I'm not going along with this anymore. No, you're harming us. You're lying to us at every turn. Every single thing in this matrix has been inverted and set up diabolically. Everything in the government, every single person has been appointed because they're on the take, or they can't get in there, or they're harming children. We're not going to tolerate this anymore. And so thank every single person that you called a conspiracy theorist, because in reality, they are conspiracy factualists. They've done their research and they've been doing their best to assist others. But others get triggered because they don't see that the belief system is a prison. And they haven't adopted the mantra of, I know nothing, but I'm really open to learning because I know I've been programmed. I can see it in everybody around me. The ones that just watch the television and they just blindly no, this is not meant to harm anybody, but you must be able to see the program in order to dismantle it. It's called an aha moment. It's like, oh, shit. I knew there was something wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So I'm doing my best to give the quickest synopsis of how the 3D matrix was set up, how it is set up, what they do over and over and over and over just to keep people separated, Republican versus Democrat. This whole voting system is completely rigged. It's a complete scam. It's a complete sham. I don't know if there will be a vote on the 8th. I think there's going to be something that exposes what went down on the last election with the now fake president, clone number 5, who was actually executed on January 20th of 2021, for anybody that really wants to know, at Gitmo. So, and I can't prove that to you on a silver platter yet, but my sources that I have tracked for well over 10 to 20 years, they have no reason to lie. They're working for the light. And there have been things and arrests being made all over the world. There's clones. I mean, it's like mind-boggling. You don't even know who anybody is anymore. So what that does is that does this beautiful thing where it forces us to go back within and begin to consciously create our reality every single morning, throughout the day, and track our frequency. Track our thoughts, our words, our imagination, our level of excitement, our level of gratitude. That's the magnet of a being that's moved beyond 3D and 4D. It's moving back into knowing that you're love and that every single person is your mirror, and anybody that you're still judging, you've got a soul contract there. And you can either hold on to your judgment and stay stuck, and then you'll find another person that'll, in life or relationships, that'll give you that same opportunity. And it might be next week, but it might not be for another year or 2 or 3 or 4 in a relationship. So when you begin to track your frequency and own it 1,000%, that's when things start to move and clear really, really quickly. And then the other people that are holding the same frequency start to all gather around you. And you've got a global friendship of soul family that, hey, Pio, great to see you, that you've probably done lifetime after lifetime with. Again, I don't remember this stuff. I kind of wish I did. I think it's exciting. I'd love to know who my, soul family are, but I know who they are right now just by the people that are showing up in my reality and what they're posting on social media, which for me, so Facebook is my main tool. I don't have time to be on all these other sites. And that reminds me, I want to post in, there's a good possibility, this is not to bring any fear into this conversation, but the internet is going to switch over. It's going to go to Web 3.0, which is going to eliminate probably gaggle and a lot of the deceivers who just completely manipulate information. It's going to happen quickly, but if it does go down, I don't know if Facebook's going to come back up because of what they've been doing. I think it will, because I believe wholeheartedly that the people have already been arrested that were doing what they originally set out to do, Soros and Zuck, but I don't know. But if it did go down and didn't come back up, I would lose contact with all these people. So what I started doing on my last 2 lives is, if you'd like to post your email in here, or you'd like to send me a private message or go to the website, I'd love to stay in contact and put you on the community list. I don't send out a lot of emails. I haven't even sent one out in probably a month and a half. I will be sending more out as things really start to get revealed here, and I'll be sharing these YouTube lives from my YouTube channel, because as more people become forced to wake up, they're going to go, all right, I'm ready to look at my stuff and I want to know what the tools are. And for me, the waking up in the dream process is one of the fastest that I've ever seen. Hey, Stu, great to see you. So if you want to pop in your email or you want to go to the website, I guess I'll just have to go in and do them one at a time right now. My web guy, who's in Bulgaria in a different time zone, he put up a new form for me. So if you just go to portal2awakening.com/newsletter, I'll pop that in right now. Where is it? I'll just have to write it in. Some people, bear with me for a second. Some people are saying that it wasn't working on a cell phone. And I think you have to turn it horizontally. And then some people said it still didn't work. So I'm just doing my best to make it happen. You can always send me a private message and just have your email in there, and I'll know that it's to put on the community list, okay? So the internet may go down. There's going to be some shifts that are happening with the banking system. Big media is going to be taken down. There's probably going to be emergency broadcast system with a lot of reveals and tribunals from Gitmo. And again, yeah, Elaine, that's fine. You can send it in Messenger. Yeah, I want to protect everybody's email. I don't want it going out to a massive, but you know, I get spam every day. I just block them or unsubscribe. It's just part of the thing, but I won't spam anybody, I promise. So if that happens, that's why I'm saying, if you want to go to this link, there it is, I believe. Yeah, okay. Okay, so any questions around inner healing, forgiveness, doing inner healing? And I'm going to start doing inner healing sessions with people. And I was taught how to do permanent subconscious repatterning. And I'm already pretty decent. And I used to hesitate to say this because it's like, don't say, you know, how good you are at what you're doing. I'm going to make it really clear right now when I talk about healing. I do not heal people. You heal yourself by being willing to look at what happened as part of your soul contract. And then we go in together in a very safe space. I take you through a process and we clear it. Now, the memory still might be there, but the emotional trigger that has kept you held in that trauma space, it'll be removed. And I promise that. And for anybody that wants to do one of those sessions, I need to put another link on my website because I've only been doing the 30 and 60 day waking up in the dream one-on-one mentorships with people because that takes up all my time. And so I'm going to start to do this new process, and I'm going to teach people how to do it yourself. So when you sign up for $333, you're going to be clearing a lifelong program. It's going to permanently, subconsciously reprogram you. And then I'm going to teach you very quickly how to go out and teach others so you can immediately get your money back or do it for free or whatever you want to do. Yes, we're still in a financial system right now. And for life-changing things, there's two things about money. Number one, I know it's rigged. Number two, I know there's a lot of people that are having difficulty around it. I understand that. I was there for most of my life until I figured out why I was running my lack program that I was programmed with as part of my soul contract. You know, when my dad died, and then my uncle, who was still alive, he kind of became my second dad. He had 8 kids. Money was always a problem. Money was an issue with my mom. It was just programmed into me. But that was part of my soul contract. I agreed to it. But it wasn't until I realized that I figured out, okay, so why do I keep attracting lack? Because it was my beliefs, and I had to go in and figure that out. And I teach people how to do that. But okay, hey, would you look at the book link? It keeps reporting no file. Okay, can you send me in Messenger a snapshot of, I'm not sure if you're in the digital course page or if you just purchased the book, and I'll take care of that immediately for you. Thank you so much. Okay, So yeah, everything's going to be revealed. Everything. And it's going to happen really quickly, because once the media gets taken down, which is already in place, there's a whole new Starlink satellite system. They're just waiting. They're dripping. They're doing the drip, 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 because a lot of people, when they realize that they've been lied to about everything, they might not be able to handle it. And so it's going to be up to us to be very, very kind and very non-judgmental. Anybody that's still calling people sheep or any of that, that means that you're in your ego and you're stuck in 3D. I used to do it too. Okay? It's frustrating. It can be frustrating, or it was frustrating for me, to see people that no matter what you show them, they still just deny it. And I mean, that's okay if they want to be in judgment, or they want to be, stuck in lack or whatever. But when it comes down to children being sacrificed and people not wanting to look at that, that was a big trigger for me. But I realized that when it comes down to forgiveness, we must forgive everyone. That means everyone. That means the Pope. That means fake Biden. That means fake Obama. That means fake Michael. That means fake Hillary. All of them. All of them. They perfectly played their role, even though they were intentionally harming us. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, do that for me. And if you just purchase that, just send me your email and I'll just go in and check to verify, and I'll send it over to you immediately when I get done with this live. Okay, thank you. Okay, so again, we must forgive everyone. There's no exceptions. And this is a real key, because most people go, well, I can forgive, my old boyfriend from 37 years because, but no, everybody's your mirror. If you're holding lack of forgiveness or resentment or judgment towards anybody, you are holding it, which means your magnetic frequency is holding it, which means by the law of the universe, you must attract low frequency situations and people and events to mirror you. So you will eventually clear this on your soul journey. And since there is no such thing as time, the soul doesn't matter whether you come back lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. But it's really clear to see right now, for anybody paying attention, we have the opportunity right now to stop this reincarnation cycle into the 3D matrix. You can make it out this time, and you can reverse your aging. You can heal anything, because disease and aging don't exist in 5D and beyond. It's already been proven there were people that lived thousands of years. It's been proven that there were people that were 27 feet tall. There's so many things. We don't know anything. And that's exciting to me, because at first it'll piss you off and go, we got lied to about everything. But just think of how incredible it is. There's been free energy around forever. And that's not an exaggeration. Energy has always been free. If you go back and look at some of the videos on YouTube that have been posted about how these buildings and cathedrals were set up, they were energy antennas. It's fascinating. It's mind-blowing. And somehow all of that information and stuff got erased from the books. So we're in the greatest time in recorded history that I know of right now. And this is why I do this, because there's nothing else to do besides the other things that I do, which are hang out in nature, hang out with the wild jungle doggies, play music, do art, and align with like-minded people, and be in gratitude as much as I can in every moment. And I practice it just like everybody else. But if you use these tools and you practice this stuff, you will see results really, really quickly. You can reverse decades and decades and decades and heal things you've been holding on to 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. I do it with people every month. Every month. And they're like, oh my God, I've tried everything. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but this is how we do it. And it's real simple when you're ready. So if you're ready to clear anything once and for all, and you're truly ready to forgive, come and do it. Or Go to whoever you resonate with. It doesn't have to be me. But yeah, I agree with Elaine. One of my mantras is, anything less than love is unacceptable in my life or my relationships. And anything that comes up that's not love, I can feel that in my frequency immediately. I stop. In the course, in the book, you get this daily tracking sheet. It's so simple. You fill out how many times you catch yourself, your triggers during the day, you fill it out. You begin to see the number every day. It's real simple. Even a kid can do it. And you start to go, oh my God, I'm just running these automatics. And you can't clear it unless you can see it. So when you go through the process that I take people through, you begin to see this stuff immediately. Not in a month, not in 6 months, not in 5 years, immediately. And if you're willing to take responsibility, you go, oh my God, almost everybody is running these automatic reaction programs out there. That's how they get them and keep them stuck in the 3D low vibrational loop. And here's how it works. There's a lot more on this sheet, but the point is it's super simple. What came up for you today? What fears, doubts, judgments? And then you have the tools to clear them. It's like this will be taught to all the children. In fact, we're already doing it. This will be the new school system. Nobody needs to go to school for 12 to 16 to 20 years to pay to get into the club with the dangling carrot so that they can give up the best 65 years of their life and then become the other spell word, retired. That's a spell word. Re means to recycle. Tired, you know what that means. It's rigged. And then they all take your money in a rigged system. But you got to be able to see it to say enough is enough. I will only do what I love. I will only share my gifts. And I trust in the universe that I will be compensated for because I am a divine sovereign being. And as long as I'm not holding beliefs of lack, I will not see lack. I'll be pointing out everything I'm grateful for every day. From things that are as simple as my toothbrush, my toilet, my shower, my refrigerator, my glasses, my computer, some of my art that people give me, my tools, my flutes, my remote control, every little thing, my clothes, that I have clean laundry. When you begin to start naming off everything you're grateful for, in the beginning, the ego might go, well, everybody has that. No. When you begin to magnetize your inner magnet to that of gratitude, the universe must magnetize to you more abundance. That's it. It's just that the majority of people have been taught to only focus on the fake money, and that's how they work it. So most people are struggling, or they're trying to hold on to it in all these fake systems which tax your money, and then they tax the taxes on top of that, and then they tax your IRA. It's so rigged, it's mind-boggling that we haven't figured it out until now. But it's all being exposed. Supposedly trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of gold have already been recovered, and the new system's supposed to come out. I don't know if Nasara or Jasara is legit. I don't personally know that. I can't prove it. What I do know is that the shift is here, and there are benevolent ones that are going to make sure that we are not hijacked and imprisoned anymore. And it's going to happen really, really soon. And don't be one of those people that goes, I'll believe it when I see it, because that's automatically telling the universe that you are not powerful and you're a victim. I'll believe it when I see it is a number one victim statement. And it's just, people just say it out of frustration because, yeah, they're frustrated. I get it. Okay. Any questions from anybody about anything I've shared? So part one, inner healing. Has everybody done it? Has everybody forgiven everybody, including themselves, and going, that was part of my soul contract. It wasn't fun, but I chose something difficult so I could clear it for myself once and for all and for the rest of the collective. And then I would have the direct experience so I can hold that level of compassion and kindness for others instead of judging them. That's the real true frequency of compassion and love. All right? So the second part is, why? Well, before I go on to the second part, which is your belief system, the second part of healing to understand is, why do people have emotional triggers? And why, retired. It's a spell word. All spelling are spells, and I do a whole thing on spell words on my YouTube channel. It'll change your life. It's a 7-minute video. It's probably the shortest video I've ever done. And you must remove the words want, wish, hope, need, try, should, going to, hard, difficult, struggle. They all tell your subconscious that your desire is either not here yet or that it's difficult. And the subconscious can only deliver you the instructions you give to it. So why do you think they put all those spell words in the first session that I get on with everybody through the 30 or 60-day journey? They describe to me where they're at. They're all using the words, I'm trying, I'm going to, I want, I wish, I hope, I need. And they don't even realize that they're giving the subconscious the exact instructions. My desire is still not here yet. It's still not here yet. It's still not here yet. And it's difficult. And they don't even realize it. And when I point that out to them in the first 15 minutes of the call, the light bulb goes off forever. Forever. This stuff is life-changing. So that video, spell words, is easy to find on my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening. I invite you to check it out. The other piece of this inner healing, and the reason why people recycle over and over and over and don't heal, is because they have an emotional reaction anytime they have a judgment, anger, worry, doubt, fear, any trigger that doesn't come from love, gratitude, kindness, joy, compassion, or excitement. And it tricks their body into believing that they're right. So when they judge and they react and they're pointing out to everybody that's wrong, they don't even realize that it's their emotional trigger that's tricking them into believing that they're right. They're not right. They just had an emotional trigger, but that trigger in their body activates them. And it gets their mind running. Yeah, they always do this. They've always done that. I can't believe it. Oh, my old boyfriend, they've all done it. All men are bad. Whatever. And I'm not just singling out women. I'm just one example. So if you don't catch the triggers, you're going to run them over and over and over. And the emotional reaction in your body, which is uncomfortable, is going to trick you into believing that you're right. This is a huge, huge key to understand. Yeah. Forgiving everybody. And here's the real key to know. Have you really forgiven everybody? When you can thank them for being your teacher and perfectly playing their role as part of your soul contract. A lot of people can say they thank somebody, but they really haven't completely. And I come across this a lot when we're doing the permanent subconscious repatterning, part of the healing sessions. People go, oh, I thought I cleared that. No, you didn't, but you're going to right now. And they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And then they know how to do it for other people. So that's something that I'm offering now. And it's huge. It's a huge, huge gift. So the second part is consciously creating your reality every day. I don't know if everybody's doing that. The only way you can do it is to commit to it and to practice it. And I teach how to do that in the book. It's on the sheet. It reminds you, did you do it first thing in the morning? Did you do it before you went to bed? And I still watch a lot of videos and I go, oh, that's really good. But I know if I don't write it down and put it into daily practice, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. And that's why I do a 30 and 60-day process. And it only needs to be that. It doesn't need to be longer, because then you'll use the tools for the rest of your life once you see that they work. If you still have a trigger, you'll go, oh, I have the tools to clear that now really easily. What is the gift here? Thank you. And instead of judging, you'll use the mantra, isn't that interesting? I came up with the mantra, isn't that interesting? Because it's completely life-changing. It's 100% neutral, frequency-wise. Yeah. Everybody's your greatest teacher, especially those that trigger you. They're doing you a favor. But if you're in an abusive, narcissistic, physically abusive relationship, then get out. That's nobody doing you a favor. Again, anything less than love is unacceptable in my life and relationships, period. But if you haven't done the inner healing, you can be blaming other people that they're doing stuff to you when you're just attracting it because you're not healed. So that's why the very first part of this process is inner healing. And if you want to grab the book or the digital course with the videos that'll walk you right through this, they're on sale right now at half price on the website through Sunday. And to me, it's the most life-changing stuff I've ever done. And that's why I do these lives for free, and I share all the tools for free. There's nothing I'm holding back here. Anybody can ask a question. It's like having a free session. I don't know if I'll be able to, answer your question, but I sure will try. And if I can't, I will do my best to mirror you to look deeper, because you have all the answers. That's the beauty of all this. It's just that until we see that all the programs are running on automatic, they just keep running, and we don't really look beyond our tiny little belief system. That's how they got everybody. So when you're willing to dismantle that belief system and realize it's a prison, and you have the courage to go, I know nothing. Show me, teach me. And now you can research anything. There's search engines like Brave that haven't been hijacked. I don't know if they have, but I know I can check a few, and I cross-check against things very quickly. I've learned to do it over 20 years. And if I don't know something, then I don't take that as my knowledge. I just go, I'm not sure. So I'm not going to make a step in that direction yet, and I know the answer will come. It's all common sense. It's all tracking frequency. It's all tracking frequency and vibration. But you must do the inner healing, or the wound and the trauma will trick you into believing that something out there is doing something to you when it's not. The wound that's unhealed is doing it to you and attracting it to you. Super simple. Super simple. It never takes more than one healing session. I don't know about these psychologists and psychiatrists that string people along week after week for 10, 20, 30 years. I've journeyed with people like that. They end up quitting that stuff right away. When my dad died and I was 7, somebody told my mom to send me to a psychiatrist because, that's what they do. Child's wounded, he's in shock. And I walked into this man's room, and I'm 7, okay? I know nothing about nothing. Or do I? And there's all these plaques and awards and all this shit on the walls. And I'm like, all right. Just like in every doctor's office, all these plaques of how great I am and what I know. But all those plaques came from the system that created the 3D matrix. And I come to find out this man is all in his head. He's not in his heart. He doesn't know how to talk to a young child. He's not even healed. And yet he's charging all this money to string people along in a 3D matrix system that all it does is string people along. That was part of wonderful training for me. And then when I went in and did some healing on myself, I was like, this isn't difficult. Yeah, you might have some tears, or you might have to kneel down in front of your bed and stack some pillows so you can safely pound out some anger. You got to move the energy, but you do it without harming yourself or projecting it on anybody else. Usually it's just tears and getting in touch with it. And we do that in one session. It's like, oh my God, why doesn't everybody do this? I'm like, I know, right? So these are the tools, and they work quickly. And I'm running out of steam here, so I'm going to end this. I want to say thanks to everybody that stayed on here. I see 18 people. I don't know how many there are. I don't know if there's a lot more or less. It really doesn't matter to me, but I know that a lot of people do see these on the replay. So I'm really grateful if this resonated with you to share this in your private groups, because people are looking right now. They know that everything is not right. They know that they've been lied to, and they're looking for people that are safe, that are non-judgmental, that are going to share information with them without making them feel stupid and calling them names like sheep and, asleep and all that. Nobody likes that, So be gentle with these people. Give them a hand up. Say, we've been waiting for you. Yeah, we've been waiting for you. And I didn't share your comment but yeah, we were sold into slavery. I'm from the United States. I'm from California. I'm currently in Thailand. But as soon as our birth certificate was signed in capital letters, we became slaves, not under the fake corporation of the USA right now, which is going to be exposed very soon. I think it's already been reversed by Trump. Whether you love him or hate him, the guy is working for the light. And if that triggers you and you're done, just let me invite you that, yeah, I didn't like some of his energy, some of his ego. This guy's going up against the most diabolical people on the planet. And you know how I know when somebody's working for the light? When they called out the pedos. Nobody else has done it. Or very few people have done it. Operation Underground Railroad's doing some great stuff, Tim and his group. There's a lot of people getting on board. But man, what you're going to see exposed over the next few months, people are going to have to wake up and face this. And it's time. Our children need to be protected. And the people that, you're so welcome. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad this has resonated with you. This keeps me going with fuel because, it takes a lot of energy for me to do this. I get up, I set everything up, I do my best to figure out a title that I haven't already done, and I'm like, what am I going to say this time that I haven't said over and over and over? And I'm like, half the time I don't even want to do these lives because, I'm flowing on here for an hour, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know if anybody wants to hear this, but the reason I do it is because I'm talking to Jeff and I'm reminding Jeff with everything I say. I don't even know if there's anybody else out there. You guys are all my mirrors. And yeah, all I can tell you is if you're hating on anybody or judging anybody, you've got more work to do. That doesn't mean don't hold anybody accountable like all these people that have harmed us and poisoned our loved ones. However, you must get to the point where you can navigate through it without holding angry, judgmental, hateful frequencies, because otherwise you're holding it and they win. It's a real fine line, and only you can do it for yourself. I had to decide to do it. It was real clear to me. I've got to forgive everyone. But the man put a lot of things in place that we're going to see exposed, and I don't even think there will be a next president, personally. But again, I know nothing. The whole system's rigged, and we don't need a president above us. We need a leader to serve us. Hey, Margaret, great to see you. I'm just getting ready to sign off, so you can come back and watch this if it resonates with you. I shared a lot of powerful stuff here, and there was a lot of good shares from people. So, so again, thanks to the people that are sharing this in other groups. If anybody's interested in doing the 30 days with me, I do 4 spots for people every month. And that's not to say, there's never enough. A spot always opens up every 2 or 3 weeks. So if it resonates with you and it's something that you'd like to do and be held accountable really gently, I take people through this like they are family. I'm checking in with them every day or every other day, just through messages. But the first couple of weeks when you're going through the tools and watching the trainings, that's when the aha moments start to happen. And so here's a really nice testimonial from somebody that just went through the course. She's a doctor. And, working with Jeff was literally life-changing. I worked with many mentors and attended even more courses during my healing journey and never experienced such a profound shift like with Jeff. Just for me to read that makes me want to cry, because I never knew that I was going to be doing this for people. I was a wounded duckling just doing my best to survive like everybody else when I met my mentor back in 2001, almost 22 years ago, So for me to read this is like, it just cracks my heart right open and gives me fuel. The change was noticeable from day one. Like I said, on the first call, we go right into the inner healing. There's no just talking about what happened. I know where to take you and I know how to do it. I used to struggle with worries, overwhelm, losing faith in myself, all the judgments that we have about ourselves. I had a lot of drama and judgment in my life. As a result of Jeff's remarkable work, I'm a different person. This is after just 30 days, people. I understand why I could not manifest things in my life, why I was engaging drama, and how to heal childhood wounds. Yeah, I mean, what a beautiful testimony. And the reason I'm sharing that is because this stuff works. And if you're ready, come and do it. Or go grab the digital course for half price right now, or just come back, Hey, Sarah, great to see you. So yeah, I haven't got a lot of sleep the past couple of days. I'm not going back to bed because I'm freaking energized after I do this. I'm going to go out and check on the wild dogs. There's one dog I found yesterday. I don't know if he's going to make it. He's got crust in his eyes. Supposedly he's blind. He's at a temple right down the street. I just haven't seen him before, and I ride by there every day. So I rolled up in there with Luna, and all these dogs came out to try and attack Luna, but she just holds her frequency because I've taken her into those situations every day, and she's just a highly advanced, beautiful dog who's still a puppy. So I'm going to go back and check on this dog and just go out and be in nature and hold the frequencies. But if anybody has any questions, they're interested in doing the course or anything, reach out. And again, if you'd like, in case the internet does go down and Facebook did not come back up, here's the link to be added to the newsletter in our community so we won't lose touch. Because in the event Facebook didn't come back, I don't think that's going to happen, but it could happen. I think Google's in for a serious crushing. Twitter, it appears, is getting crushed right now by Elon. A lot of people got fired and removed, and and that's just what we're seeing as part of the movie. So I know nothing. I just know the lights won, and yeah, lights are coming on everywhere. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you for your support and your love. And yeah, simple. It is simple. It's got to be simple, or, yeah, I've got the things. When the dogs here that are wild, their eyes cover up with green. Not every time, because I'm not going to project that, but oftentimes it's distemper and there's no cure. And the problem is that if they're around other dogs in the temple in the streets, it's contagious. So sometimes they need to be put to sleep. And it's the saddest thing for me, but it's a really long, slow death for them too. So I've held dogs in my arms before while we give them the shot, and it just puts them to sleep and it puts them out of their misery. It's heartbreaking for me, but I got to do it. And they're all in my vicinity here now, so I have to help them. So yeah. It's okay to share things. It's okay to share things, but understand that if we're giving energy to that, in a way, we're still keeping it active. So everybody's perfectly playing their role. I shared a lot of things for many years that shocked a lot of people. Nobody wanted to look at the sacrificing of children or the androne, CHROME. Nobody wanted to admit it, especially people in the church. So there's going to be a huge awakening here. So yeah, I know nothing, but what I tune into the frequency, and the frequency is good, and it's exposing all of the bad. So I'm like, hey, I support that. So anyway, big love to everybody. Oh, here, let me pop this in. There's the link to get on the community newsletter. In the event that Facebook doesn't come up, I would email everybody, and we'd go to another media site. Or I would just do StreamYards on my website, and you can tune in or whatever. It's not just going to be this amount of people. It's going to be a whole bunch of people. But I'm just posting that link in right now for anybody that's interested. And it's a precautionary to just keep us in touch if that were to happen. So big love to everybody. Thank you to everybody that shares these in other groups so that other people can tune into these simple tools. And yeah, have yourself an incredible weekend and stay excited, because you came here for this, and it's about to get really good. All right? Big love from Thailand.